Hello. You, that's right, you. I'm talking to you, my subscriber, my viewer, my new guest. If you're new here, welcome. Glad to have ya. Maureen Sky, Silver Senior Chatty Sky. That's me talking to you. And anyone new or just, whoever. I'm glad that you're here and we're doing another video, right? And I don't have a specific topic, but I always seem to find something to talk about. So let's see where the video takes me, right? Yeah. So I just came back from downtown Greenfield, the next town over, south, and I had to go to the newspaper, the Recorder, to pay for a tag sale ad for this Saturday and Sunday, and for one day to get it in the paper, and I did it up. Is $30, which I guess isn't too bad, Not gonna rant like I did the last time about, the cost of putting an obit in the paper. That's one of my other videos that you can watch if you're new here. And I go on and on about that one. But, I'm doing good. I'm happy today. Everything's good. I feel decent and everything. And yet I just had a moment where I could have cried a bunch of tears. And that must still be the grieving, walking around looking at things, and I could just cry. And yet I'm not unhappy or depressed. I'm feeling pretty good otherwise and upbeat. And I got up and did myself nice today, put some makeup on and all that, I feel good. And so where that emotion came from, where I actually feel like I could cry for a moment, just came out of nowhere. And that happens, I notice. It has to be the grieving process, how it's coming about for me, Everybody's different, and you don't have any control of that, really, guys, the grieving process. And I notice it's happening differently with Eddie, with this one. And don't forget, Eddie's daughter passed as well on July 12th of cancer, and she was only 62 or 63. I call that young. As we age, and that's young, and to me. And she was an active one, never smoked, watched her weight and her diet, always out doing something, in the sun, and love life, very, very active person. So it's just very sad. Anyway, that's not where I was really gonna go with the video today, but I just wanted to talk. I saw my old journal. I've journaled over the years, although I haven't for several months because I've been so busy. But maybe we'll just randomly read some pages from an old journal and take it from there, because you can really reflect and look back and say, wow, look how far I've come, or wow, I was in a better place then than I am now. Those kind of things, And all my journals are different shapes and sizes. Here's one right here. And this is one that I was writing in when I lived alone, and in a one-room studio apartment over in Northfield, and the building is right near the old fire station, and the building has a nickname called the Beehive, because it had the old Beehive bread ovens, I believe, in the cellar. I never saw them, but I heard of that. That building has like 11 or 12 apartments in it, and mine was just up one flight of stairs. And I understand part of my apartment was actually like a dance hall. But I had one big room. It was cute. I had it up really cute and everything. And I never saw too many of the other apartments, but it was interesting to live there. Let's see if I can get this open, or do I need the little key, which I don't have. I actually think maybe we won't. Let's see if I can get it open. It's supposed to be able to just push on it and open it with, there we go. Okay, we're in luck. Yeah, see, this one was yeah, I was living in Northfield in that, so this had to be, oh gosh, 2007, 08, August 08, okay. Oh, there's a lot of empty pages though, so I didn't. Some of it is a little personal, really personal. I was dating, or on a date site, not dating anyone at length or anything, but on date sites, trying to find someone nice, you know, and okay. Must tell you that I had one of the nicest days on Sunday, July 20th of '08. Isn't that funny? At Lake Wyola with a guy I recently met from the singles line. I like him, and I can only hope that this new friendship grows and prospers into something really special for me. It didn't though, but I did have we had a good um, conversations. We had good conversations, me and this guy. We had some similar stuff going on, but it just didn't work out. I didn't like that he, you know, I felt like he was going shopping. I felt like I was one of many on his little list to date. And I guess that's what you do when you're on these date sites, and it's okay, right? But for me back then, it didn't feel right. I wanted to be the special one, and I didn't like that in one conversation, I picked up on the fact that he went thrifting and bought a pair of jeans to go on this other date with all the girls that he was seeing, their first name began with M. So there was me, Maureen, and then there was like Marianne and Margaret and this and that, and I'm like, oh. So he bought a pair of jeans to look nice for, obviously, a dinner date or something with this Marianne. And yet he hadn't made a dinner date with me as yet. We were just talking. So I didn't like that. I really didn't kind of like that. I don't know. And maybe I was being picky because that is what you do on date sites. And I realize that you can go shopping. But I don't know. If you're investing that much, nightly conversations with someone, and it's been going on for weeks, and they're nice conversations, they really seem to be taking it off that way, wouldn't you think it's time to go buy some jeans and have a date with me? Got $250 worth. I was thrilled. I really can use all the money I can get right now, so probably worth a little more than that, but that's what I got, so I was happy, I guess. Had a nice Easter dinner with Adrian and Eric and their kids. That's my niece. I made my famous banana cream pie. I make a good one. It was awesome. Saw my grandson for a little bit later in the day. He came right over and gave me several nice hugs. Oh, that's nice. I loved it. Nothing more special than being hugged by your grandchildren. That's true. Love it. Oh, that's nice. That uplifts me because I've been estranged from him the past few years. So this is nice and upbeat to read. Put some artwork on consignment in the craft store in Northfield over a week ago. They loved everything I took there. Right now, I have over $400 worth of stuff there on consignment. I do a lot of artsy things and have over the years. Not so much lately because I've been so busy with, trying to clean out this house and barn and get this place on the market. So that's been my focus. So a lot of my crafting and painting, I like to paint with acrylics and watercolor. I really like watercolors. And I've put some of my artwork in the fair, the local annual fair. There's an exhibit hall. It's round, the roundhouse. And I have put my stuff in there, and I've actually gotten many ribbons and several blue ribbons for some of my work, which it's an honor. And you get a little check at the end, a couple dollars from the town of Greenfield, and you stand in line when you go back to pick up your stuff. It's kind of fun. I do it, but I always do it for ha-has. And I got my little granddaughter so that we entered a couple of her things into the children's hall. And she's artsy. And she actually, a couple of years ago, got a couple of ribbons. And it was so much fun for her. I surprised her with it. She didn't know I had entered her stuff that she had done here with me. And when she went to the fair, and I went with them, and we had to stop in the children's hall. She didn't know why. And there was her work and her ribbons. It was a lot of fun. That was fun. Yeah. So anyway, some of this is kind of March 2nd, 2008. Sunday, went to church. I am singing with the choir. I like to sing a little bit too. It is fun and so good for me. I enjoy the people too. One lady from the church asked me to go walking with her today. And I would go walking with this one. And I did a lot of looking up some books at the library on the history of Northfield, and I learned a lot about the person who started Northfield Mount Hermon. I had his name all down and everything. Now I can't think of it. And we had some of his pewter and wedding gifts too. We sold it in an auction, but I had picked them up at a church sale, church, a different church in Northfield. Oh, I can see the man. I can see his picture. I studied and learned a lot about him. He did a lot of speeches and talks, and he actually, I believe Abraham Lincoln came through Northfield at one time and met this man. Oh, what was his name? I wonder if I wrote it down here. Because I did a lot of studying about this person. I'll have to look that up. Anyway, I probably would have talked about that. Came home and had more homemade pizza. I'm a good cook. Yeah. I make my own sourdough bread too. I haven't though for a few months, but and I had to throw my starter away. It got bad, and that's the key, is having a good healthy starter. Mine's named Sky, obviously, our last name, but the girl I learned it all from, her starter is named Otis, from Whispering Willow Farm, and she knows a lot about sourdough and making sourdough and creating your starter. And I bought more from her and dehydrated, and I just have to go the route of activating it and doing the instructions again. And I'm gonna start, because my son, who is a heart transplant recipient, and I believe I talk about that in a couple of my videos, but if not, I can do another video on his story. But what a dear young man, and been through so much, but he's doing good. Did it all in Boston, Brigham and Women's in 2016, I believe. Yeah, my son, my firstborn. I had my son, and then about 3.5 years later, I had my daughter, Gina Marie. My son's name is Ryan, and my daughter's name is Gina Marie. They're pretty, yeah. They're blessings, they're gifts. Your children are gifts. I believe that. They're gifts from God, yeah. So anyway, I'm very hungry. I wanted to just do a video to connect with my people. I started mowing my lawn the other day, a few days ago, and then it rained really bad. And I had to stop too, because it was getting hard to mow, very hard to push the mower because it was so high. And I had to keep stopping and shaking the mower and getting the grass that's stuck under there out. And so I had to keep doing that, and it was really making it really much harder to mow. But this is a big lawn, and I've still got the back to do. And so I'm thinking, with the sun out today and it's been able to dry out, that I should get out there and do a little more and see what I can get done. And the barn still needs me, because we got a lot done yesterday. Shelly and I, my cleaner, my girl, she's a good worker, and we got a lot done. And I'm having this tag sale of a lot of Eddie's small hand tools, power tools. I've got a lot of hardware, things that he had, bolts, nuts, hinges. I've got car jacks and a little bit of furniture. We've got a bunch of Maricella's bags and bags of women's clothing, good stuff she hardly worn, and a lot of it came from Kohl's. I've got so much stuff of Eddie's, but we've got it all organized and in a section, and one can come in the barn and look and see it and make an offer, and I can get rid of this stuff. So that's why I really wanted to get an ad going today, because the last tag sale that I tried to have, I just put a sign out, and it was when there was another event going on in town. But we had some people stop, and I made a little bit, but not as much as I was hoping for a 2-day event and for what we had in the barn. So now I'm hoping that this ad will really attract the people looking for specific stuff, and I noted it all. So let's hope that this time I have a better tag sale, because I could really use that, and any money I make is going into a separate account, so I'll have money for fuel if I have to go the route of staying here during another cold season. And I'm hoping I don't, and that it's sold by then. But if I do, oh, thank you, dear. Okay, I'll be right there. My Meals on Wheels is here. I get Meals on Wheels. And you know what? A year or two ago, we were getting it, and we had to stop. It was so bad. I was throwing everything away. You couldn't eat it. Very bland, no taste. Well, this time around, they got a different catering service type of people doing it. And I have to say, it's edible. They're tasty. And I like them. So I'm hungry, too. I had an egg on toast and my coffee at 8 o'clock this morning, and it's now 12:30. So with diabetes, I've got to eat again. I got to take a shot of my needle and then keep busy, and that's my plan. I plan to do another video, a little short, while I'm sitting out on my swing, and I want to read a poem I wrote called The Backyard Swing. So watch for that one too. But I'm going to say goodbye. It's been great. It's always fun. I love doing this. I hope I never have to stop doing this. I do love it, and I hope you enjoy my videos as much as I enjoy doing them and coming at you. So I will say goodbye. I love you. And until we meet again, I certainly hope the universe provides. I truly do now. Bye-bye.